Jack suddenly noticed that the massive tree trunk was covered with fine human-like hair. Without hesitation, he pulled out a knife and drove it straight in. To his surprise, a stream of white liquid poured out. He scooped some onto his palm and rubbed it between his fingers to get a better look. One drop slipped through and hit the ground. Within seconds, the patch of dead grass there sprouted fresh green leaves. Seeing this happen, Jack quickly spread the liquid over the wound on his stomach. In less than 3 seconds, the cut sealed itself completely. Realizing this liquid had an unusual power, a bold idea instantly popped into his head. He started hacking at the trunk again, harder this time, then cupped his hands to catch more of the liquid and gulped it down. But right at that moment, the tree burst into a blinding glow. Before he could react, a beam of golden light shot straight into his body. The stabbing pain dropped him to his knees. Then his belly began to swell rapidly. Flowers started blooming out from under his skin. Terrified, he tried to pull them out, but nothing worked. Green vines spread like wildfire, wrapping around him completely and pulling him into the dirt. Still, that didn't mean his life was over. He simply kept on living in a very different form. It turned out that everything had come straight from a story Jack's wife had written. But in the real world, Jack was working tirelessly on human gene research, hoping to use it to pull his wife back from the edge of death. Her illness was so rare, no matter how many treatments they tried, nothing worked. Jack felt both frustrated and guilty, until one day, deep in a rainforest, he extracted a unique type of gene. He immediately began testing it on monkeys, hoping for a miracle. Later that day, he rushed home, ready to share the good news with his wife. But before he could say a word, a call came from the lab. A colleague told him the test monkey had shown a reaction. Without hesitation, he hurried back to the lab. The monkey that had been on the verge of death was suddenly full of life. That sight lit a spark of hope in him, but the relief didn't last. The data showed that most of the monkey's illnesses had been cured, except for the one that matched his wife's condition. There was no change at all. Hearing this made his heart sink. Even though he had achieved a groundbreaking feat in science, it meant nothing to him because it still couldn't save her. Jack fell into a deep slump, unsure how to face his wife. He ended up reading through her novel, trying to connect with her on a mental level. But that very night, her condition suddenly worsened. Jack quickly called in a colleague to help stabilize her. They managed to hold it off for the moment. Not long after, his mentor brought him good news. Her gene research project had succeeded, meaning his wife's illness could finally be cured. But when Jack returned to the room to tell her, she had already closed her eyes forever.